Hello everyone, welcome to today's show. My name is Spencer Walsh. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Jair Bolsonaro has just won Brazil's presidential election. There are two stories that I could do this red alert on, and each would be probably equally justifiable. This is one of them. The other one is, of course, the tragic Pittsburgh shooting that I want to really talk about and address on tomorrow's Newsflash. But today, we will be talking about fascism, how it struck Brazil, the people's reaction to it, and so much more, as Jair Bolsonaro has won the Brazil presidential election. My name is Spencer Walsh. Thank you so much for listening to Red Alert. Of course, Red Alert, a production of the Spencer Walsh Radio Network. And yeah, Jair Bolsonaro, far-right populist. He's literally won the Brazil's presidential election. So yeah, he is one of the biggest. He kind of follows a trend of people embracing conservative voters in the region. Brazil is the latest country to drift towards the far right. So this is a trend in the region. Many countries, including Argentina, have recently chose conservatives. Chile, Peru, Paraguay, Colombia. Matteo Salvini, Viktor Orban are some of the people who he's being compared to in Italy and Hungary. So yeah, it's just like we're going through a right-wing phase right now. There's no other way to phrase it. But the new president has exalted the country's military dictatorship, advocated torture, and threatened to jail or drive into exile his political opponents. And what I really want to explore today is some of the things he should say. We have a top 20 countdown, courtesy of Jacobin, of some of his biggest quotes. And here's the first one. Pinochet should have killed more people. That's what he said to a magazine called Veja in December 2nd, 1998. This is a deep cut. It's a quote from way back. But one of the most important things is this kind of describes his mind, that this kind of puts in his mind and the mind of the Brazilian people that we have a basic the world has agreed on a basic standard on how to treat people, especially people who have been accused of crimes. And what he wants to do is apparently he just wants to stop on that. And the fact that he's elected is he's been elected in this way is very scary. Some of this is just really disgusting stuff. So just be ready for it. I have 5 children, 4 boys. And on the 5th, I got weak and had a daughter, he said, in April 3rd, 2017, calling his daughter pretty much a mistake, a weak person. Like that, this is who he thinks. He's a hardliner. He's just complete and utter asshole. There's no way around that. Like, he's not a courteous, kind person. He doesn't seem to have a decent bone in his body. He's down for power. He's down for proving his masculinity. He's proving for his aggression, proving his strength. And I think there's a lot of reasons to explain, and it's definitely cause for a deeper, maybe spotlight episode about how Brazil got in this current situation. But there is something deeply wrong with the country that would, or just deeply wrong the way the government is treated, the way the government has been run. And some of the mistakes that have been made in the process, the fact that we get to a place where people need a far right, just an authoritarian leader, someone who's firm leadership, and we have someone like this. The fact that Brazil is led by somebody like this it's very disturbing, and it just shows you, and I think it's very worth investigating. And somebody tells me it's not going to be all the left here. It's not going to be the real left. It's going to be the people in the center, as it always is, who turn away from real values and turn towards money and turn towards power. I mean, I know you may have heard of Operation Car Wash. That leads to some of it. I haven't really fully explored it. I think it's something that's worth very interesting to find. It's very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to explore something about just get in deeper to why a country would so want to push for and try to align themselves with a guy who believes this kind of stuff. It's really pretty incredible. He also said, let's shoot all the PT members in Acre, which is a Brazilian state, in a campaign event on September 1st, 2018. This quote pretty much proves to me that he is a psychopath. And this is a little bit of a Trumpian statement. Is he says, "My advice, and I do it. I cheat on taxes as much as possible. If I don't need to pay anything, I don't pay." And again, yeah, this is just it's very interesting that he said this, by the way, in 1999. I guess he wants to kind of hush that quote up because this is kind of a corruption aspect to it. And there's one thing the Brazilian people hate right now, and it's corruption, because boy, have they experienced a lot of it under the Operation Car Wash. Quote number 5, there is not the least doubt I would organize a coup on the same day, Bolsonaro said in response to the question of what he would do if he was with the National Congress if elected president. He said he would organize a coup on the same day. He's an authoritarian. He's out there to kill. He's out there to hunt down democracy. And very, 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 very likely make severe and serious punishment to the people on the right wing who have wronged him, who have attacked him in some certain way. And that's what he's out for. And he is out for blood. He's out for bones. And he's out to see the left reduced to rubble and all the opponents with him. And especially any semblance of a free and fair democratically elected Brazilian government. It seems to be what is it at this point? What Brazil's going to have to deal with, and they seem to very much want to deal with it. And when pretty much when all I'm going to say is, I mean, it's going to be all like no one really deserves something like this, but a lot of the country voted for him. A lot of the country supported him. And I really think what the left needs to do is like find out how it got to this point. What we can do as people who want to attain power to someday to avoid ever getting things to this point, to this level of corruption ever again. Like the real left wing needs to step in and get the left who is acting corrupt under control, because like this is not going to be okay. It's not going to be acceptable. That we have people like this corruption, and we're seeing it kind of on a smaller scale in the United States. We have corruption. Hillary Clinton, I mean, she's done many more things than just be corrupt, but she's kind of a symbol of corruption, and she's associated with the left. You have someone who promises to come in and end that, and also says a bunch of repugnant things on the side. That's Jair Bolsonaro and Donald Trump. It's the same sort of thing, but Donald Trump has never said, and this is our 6th quote here, if your son begins to act like this, sort of gay, he deserves a smack, and he'll change his behavior. So, again, advocating for just abusing his kids if they're gay, which we know never works and just makes them suicide. Like, what kind of pig does this kind of thing? Like, he said this in 2010. He says, I'm favorable to torture, and you know this. He said this at a Programa Camera Aberta on May 23rd, 1999. He also said, I don't run this risk, this is quote number 8, since my sons were very well educated and haven't lived in environments like yours, lamentably. A response to a question by a black woman reporter who asked what he would do if one of his sons dated a black woman. So yeah, this guy is, again, he's for a certain, again, he's got every little Trump thing in him times 10. And the fact that people are calling him a Trump of the tropics, again, is a name that wants to make you like drown in a ball of fiery lava. But like this guy is Trump times 10. And he's going to actually follow through on things. And like people say this about America all the time. Like we have, and it is to a large degree too. We definitely have a better way of stopping crazy people than a lot of other countries do. Because I mean, if like Trump could have done a lot worse if we hadn't had some sort of protections and some moderating influences on him. But you really get the sense that this is not going to be sustainable either in Brazil or in America. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. We are going to need to do something about this. Number 9, through the vote, you will change absolutely nothing in this country, right? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You will only change, unfortunately, on the day that we bring a civil war here inside. And doing the job that the military regime didn't do. Killing 30,000, beginning with FHC, Fernando Henrique Cardoso, the president at the time. That was in May 23rd, 1990, in the same program. If in some innocents die, all right, in every war innocent people die, I would be happy if I died as long as 30,000 others died with me. So this is a crazy person. Like, he has a number in his mind of the people of Brazilians he wants to see dead in order to achieve his goals for this country. He's a lunatic. He said the situation of the country would have been better today if the dictatorship again had killed more people. He wants more death. He wants more violence. I don't know. He's just obsessed with violence. He's obsessed with killing people. Ugh, it's disgusting. Yeah. So what historic debt do we have with blacks? I never enslaved them. The Portuguese never set foot in Africa. The blacks were delivered by blacks. So he said, program Roda Viva. So yeah, that's great. He's also racist too. So to top it all off, he said, I never beat my ex-wife, in quote 12, but I thought of shooting her various times. I mean, who amongst us, right? Quote 13, he says, I never spanked a child on the bum and then had regrets. It happens. He said that on executions authorized by ex-president Geisel during the military dictatorship. And this is, again, just a few months ago, May of 2018. Yeah, he's like, man, spank a child on the bum. It happens, you know? He also said, I never went to a quilombola, a maroon settlement, in El Dorado Paulista. So he went to one in El Dorado Pastilla. Look, the lightest African descendant there weighed 100 kilograms. They don't do anything. They don't even serve to reproduce. So yeah, you're getting from these quotes really kind of an idea of how he views people. People are not like him, are just like subhuman, substandard, just absolutely disgusting people who just don't deserve to live. And that's what we're seeing here from this creepy, disgusting animal who's been endorsed by the Wall Street Journal. He's been endorsed by the center-right of the United States and of the world, all because they're just afraid of more left-wing policies, actual real strong left-wing policies, which is very disturbing to say the least. Yeah, God above everything. This is quote 15. There's no such thing as a secular state. The state is Christian, and the minority will have to change if they can. The minorities will have to adapt to the position of the majority. Speech at the Aeroporto Joao Sasuna, Campina Grande, February 18th, 2017. He said, I'm not going to combat or discriminate, but if I see two men kissing on the street, I'm going to hit them. Yeah, so, yeah, you're just getting an idea. Again, more of these people who are this is the new leader of Brazil. This is the mindset. A racist, homophobic man, a misogynistic man, treats women as just like literally sacks of meat. He's literally called women too ugly to rape. And he's racist. He wants, and on top of that, he's so hungry. Like the thing that stood out to me through these 20 quotes, compiled here by Jacobin. Yeah, and by the way, this is quote 17. I was going to mention it because I don't think they would mention it, but this is quote 17. I would never rape you because you don't deserve it. He said that to one of his colleagues, to Federal Deputy Maria do Rosario in November 2003, which is incredible. That they had to even this was even a thing. Like if American politicians said that, like my mind would just be blown. But it turns out a Brazilian politician has actually said it, and he's now president, and that's just how it works. Quote 18. And mistresses, are they prohibited too? He said, commenting on law that would ban nepotism in government jobs, which is crazy. The big mistake was to torture and not kill. F them, he said, commenting on the possibility of a revision of the amnesty law, which will lead to the punishment of torturers during the military dictatorship. So this guy, like the biggest thing, as I was saying before, the biggest thing that stands out to me is this guy's clear lust and desire for more blood, for more death, and if you look, he's kind of like Marat of the French Revolution. His solution is kill more people. Chop more people. Like when he said when things are going wrong, just kill more people. That was a direct quote from John Paul Marat. This guy's the same way with racism, with misogyny, and homophobia. In 2018, he is now the president of a major country. Something seriously has gone wrong there. And to top it all off, the 20th and final quote here is, I would be unable to love a gay son. I wouldn't be a hypocrite. I would prefer that my gay son die in an accident rather than appear with a gay mustache. For me, he would be dead. And that's what he says. This is some of the quotes. Again, just some of the quotes here from the president-elect, anyway, of Brazil. So, Yeah, we want to cancel our trip to Rio de Janeiro, because things are going to get crazy in Brazil for the next few years under this guy's rule. All right, that's it. My name is Spencer Walsh for Red Alert.